much. And thank you very much for joining us, and of course Temba as well. We'll get straight into it. We're going to take a couple of questions just from the South African press before we go to the wider room. Who would like to start us off there? Telford?
How's it, Temba? It's been quite a few days for you. How's the hamstring and how's just your state of mind?
Physically, I feel alright. Obviously not 100%. So obviously this day becomes important in terms of decision about tomorrow. I'm quite confident, but I mean it's not a unilateral decision that will be made. And in state of mind, obviously a bit nervous of the game. It will be our first semi-final as a team, but I think the feeling is no different, I guess, from any game that we've encountered within the World Cup. So yeah.
Thanks. Firdous?
Temba, when you say not 100%, can you just say what it is that maybe doesn't feel 100%? I mean, we know it's the hamstring, but what do you need to do today to feel like to get that tick and to be able to play tomorrow?
I think it's just using the rest day. Continue with my rehab. I'll still be continuing with my rehab today on the field, doing some fielding stuff. Yeah, I can't tell you medically, but I think for me, from a feeling point of view, that's what I can attest to.
Temba, I'm over here. In terms of state of mind collectively with the squad and the players, your team, do you have any plans for this evening? Are you going to sort of knock on doors and give everyone a hug, or are you just going to leave them to do their own thing and prepare in their own way?
So most of the guys have opted to take the option with optional training today. So I think from a skill point of view, from a physical point of view, guys are quite confident from that point of view. We'll have our normal evening team meeting where the team will be announced. I'm sure there'll be conversations that happen there within that meetings around the around the occasion of tomorrow. But I honestly don't anticipate it to be any different. There's a sense of calmness within the team, and obviously a normal level of anxiety that you would expect going into the game tomorrow. But I think we'll take a lot of confidence with our performances up until this point. But yeah, I don't think I'll be going around giving guys hugs. No.
Hi, Temba. I'm just in the back here. For you personally, obviously we know it's not yet 100% that you're going to play, but can you just speak from your point of view what it would mean for you and everything you've gone through in your career to lead South Africa on the field in a World Cup semi-final?
Yeah, it would be massive. I've tried not to really allow myself to get into that space. You obviously want to treat it as just another game. But I guess you're forcing me to acknowledge, that occasion. It's obviously something that I'll be looking forward to. It's something that I'll savor in that moment with that opportunity. I know it'll mean a lot for the family and people back home. And obviously it would be nice to be having another press conference with you guys on the 18th of November. But yeah, try not to get too much into that, into all those emotions. Let's see it as just another game.
Hi, Temba, back here. Just on the composition of your team, the last time you guys played here, you went with the two frontline spinners. Do the conditions suggest that you do the same? And until when will you leave that before making a decision?
Yeah, I mean, I'm allowed to say. I mean, if it is up to me, I'm definitely playing our two frontline spinners. Obviously, Keshav and Shamsi. We obviously have Aiden as well, who's also gives us an option there. Then I think it's just finalizing in terms of the three seamers, who that may be. But I mean, like you say, conditions opposition as well. Really give that as an option for us.
Temba, I know every semi-final South Africa played in over the years is important, but do you sort of like get a sense that this one is also like perhaps one of the more significant ones symbolically as well? You guys have been credited with creating a really good team environment, a good team, and also like given the adversity you guys had to go through, you know, to affect this turnaround basically in 9 months, you know, is actually really significant. So is this like truly symbolically one of the more significant, you know, semi-finals do you believe in South African cricket?
I guess they're all important, the semi-finals. I think, like you say, with the way we performed as a team, it's obviously created a lot of positive sentiment, but obviously higher expectation. A lot of people believe that this could be the year that we see ourselves within the final. And I mean, look, as a team, individually, we'd like nothing better than that. But we also respect the game of cricket. You know, we're not coming up against a Mickey Mouse team. Australia they've got a lot of experience and confidence in knockout games like this, so we've got to respect that. I'd hate to say that we deserve to go through because of the way we played our cricket. I don't think that's the way things go. But I think, yeah, from our performances, from the processes that we've followed to get to this point, we'll continue to lean on that, and we believe that will take care of the result in itself.
Cool. Just going to take one from the gentleman in the green shirt there now, and then if I can just get the mic on the side, just the front here.
Hello.
Take some questions there.
Temba, yeah. Welcome to Eden Gardens. There's a little bit of shade of FIFA World Cup in this ICC World Cup. There was the race for golden ball between Mbappe and Messi, and here is the race between Virat Kohli and De Kock. Where would you put these two players in terms of performance?
Look, I mean, Quinton, he's been magnificent for us. Obviously, being our leading run scorer, I think at one point he was the leading World Cup scorer as well. So I think that speaks volumes in itself. Knowing Quinton, I don't think he's really paying much attention to all of that. I think his focus is really on contributing as best as he can within for the team. I guess the stats are always just a reflection of everything the guys do behind the scenes. Virat Kohli, obviously an incredible player, and again, he's cemented himself as one of the legends within the game. So I'm not sure what is motivating him, but obviously it being a home World Cup, you know, he'd also like to, you know, bring it back for his people within India. And I think with Quinton as well, you know, not sharing too much from his side, you know, he'd like to really leave with a bang.
Hi, Temba. You said you weren't 100%. First of all, just wondering if you can put a rough guesstimate on whether it's 70% or 99% where you think you are with that hamstring. And also, you spoke about feeling a little bit nervous. Have the other players spoken to you about feeling nervous themselves? And what have you or the other senior players said to them about how to channel that or how to handle it?
Yeah, I'll start with the last one. There's been an acknowledgement of the emotions. I don't think you can deny or run away with that. But there's also been, I guess, solutions or mechanisms that have been given as to how to deal with that anxiety if you feel that it overwhelms yourself. And I think that advice also flows to the senior players. I think there's only 2 guys in this group that have gone into a semi-final, Quinton and David Miller. So there's not a lot of, you know, experience from all other guys. But yeah, there've been that acknowledgement of those emotions as well as, I guess, solutions and mechanisms. In terms of from a percentage point of view, that I can't really give you. Like I said, today is another day. It's obviously an important day, and I will use it as best as I can to make sure that I'm close to my best from a physical point of view.
Hi, Temba. To the obvious privilege of leading your country in a semi-final, which you've spoken about a little while ago, does somewhere pressure also sneak in, given the fact that the runs haven't come off your bat? And if it does, how do you deal with that, going into what would possibly be a very crucial match for you and the team?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said this quite a lot. The pressure is always there. I think every player feels pressure, whether you're doing well, whether you're not doing well. It comes in different forms. I think for me, it's important that I feel I try to separate the two, being the captain and leader of the team. Make sure that you're doing that as well as you can, trying to create the calmness and belief within the team going into an occasion like this. And then there's obviously me being the better, making sure that I'm close to my best. Yes, I haven't scored the bulk of the runs within the team. Got it in quite a couple of times, haven't converted. So I guess from that point of view, also knowing that I play a key role with Quinton up top in terms of our partnership. We've been involved in a couple of 50-plus partnerships, so take a lot of confidence in that. I guess tomorrow my focus will be a lot on that, making sure that if we're batting first, we make sure we take care of that first 10 overs, and then generally after that, it's about me personally as a batter, and if I can be ruthless. So, I mean, the pressure will always be there. I think even if at this point I was averaging 50 or whatever, I'd still feel pressure. But you have to go out there and deal with it. Yeah.
Temba, the Springboks are an inspiration to a lot of South Africans, and they recently won their 4th World Cup. I know you guys are also professional cricketers and professional athletes, but do you ever look up to them as an inspiration for what they've done and the mental fortitude they have sort of get into cricket here?
Yeah, definitely. I think to a large degree we look at them in awe, the Springboks, and how they've gone about their back-to-back wins within the World Cup. Obviously the way they won it this year, with the knockout games being quite close, and again how that resilience, how that do or die attitude came through. That's what we've been speaking about as a team, that when the crunch moment comes, when the pressure moments come, we come together as a team and we find a way to get over the line. We also accept that, it's for us to control what we can control, what our story is within the Proteas. We know what we'd like to look like. We want to be there on the 19th of November, but for us to do that, we've got to focus and deal with tomorrow as best as we can.
Captain, one thing is that last time your batters had collapsed against India, especially against Ravindra spin. So that time also the area of concern is spin, because yesterday we saw you and your batters are practices against the spinners. More than 1 hour.
What's the question?
I'm telling you that is the most area of concern this time also, the spin, because you are practicing against the spinners most of the time yesterday.
Yeah, I think in terms of looking at the wicket, we feel that it potentially could be a wicket that assists the spinners a lot more. So I guess naturally so there'll be a focus on our spin play. I don't think there's an insecurity or anything like that within our spin play as a team. We know we've played spin quite well, from whatever angle you look at it, statistically or whatever. So I think it's just the guys covering their bases. Yes, the practice was probably long yesterday, but probably because guys wanted to take time off today and rather mentally refresh. Coming up against Afghanistan, you know that the challenge is going to be the spin. So again, naturally so, guys will spend time polishing up their game plans. Afghanistan, Australia, obviously a different challenge. So yeah, no insecurity, I think, lies there in terms of our ability to play spin.
Any further question? One last one over there to wrap us up.
So, can we sing this time for Africa, Shakira music?
Can you please ask the question again?
Yeah. Can we sing Shakira that music this time for Africa?
What's the question? I'm not sure.
I think the stadium will play the song during the game. That's where that song will lie. No, thank you very much, everyone, and thank you, Temba, for joining us today.